Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
That's it. Here we go. Welcome to the stream of conscious, everybody, where we're simply going to talk. We will start talking. There's never really a plan. There's never going to be a plan. And it's kind of what I always, and Devil can understand this. It's kind of what I thought Mellow Mondays wanted to be. And then Mellow Mondays got bogged down in topics and things and this and that. And I also created Mellow Mondays very early in life in the channel. So I think I realized at this point, I don't always need a plan. We can just talk. And I see this right now, and this annoys me, but I understand this for tomorrow. I was gonna play 14 when we were done tonight, but we can't because there's a patch tomorrow. Devil, do you know what the patch is?
No, what is the patch?
It's the Final Fantasy 14 half of the collaboration with Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, nice. What are we getting?
Arkveld. There's an Arkveld fight. It's a big. Now you're not close enough, otherwise, but you'll get when you get there eventually. It'll be available. It's not going to go away. It'll always be there. Just like the Rathalos fight is still there. Yeah. So I watched the trailer. Oh, you haven't seen the trailer, have you?
No.
I can show you the trailer. I mean, we're not normally going to do that, but you haven't seen the trailer, and since you play Wilds and you play 14 like I do, you might that could be interesting. So let me find this here. The trailer got dropped about a week or so ago. It got dropped a little over a week ago because I just started playing with you and Sam in 14, Wilds. I thought, where's the 14? Where's the 14 half of this collaboration? And I think I watched it on. Did I watch? Kel, did we? Yeah. Oh, you know what? We looked at it on Daily Dive. That's we looked on that's where it's like I know I looked at it somewhere. I want to say monster. I can spell Hunter Wilds. Yes, here we go. All right, cool. I think you'll appreciate this. Let me get this up here. All right. Share screen because I can do stuff like that. I'm normal. Okay, here we go. Full screen it. There we go. All right, here we go. Now, this is Tuliyola, the current hub city in Dawn Trail. So you haven't seen this place yet, but this is Tuliyola.
Okay.
See, this is good. Looks like we're gonna get cigarettes as mounts. That'll be cool. I don't mind that. The mount collector in me is very happy. Wait to see the purchasable mount with likely tokens from fighting Arkvald over and over again. Wait to see that one. You'll appreciate it. Dude, this fight's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah,
this fight's gonna be nuts, and I'm looking forward to it. And that's a key thing right there. So, a bunch of years ago when they did their last collaboration with Monster Hunter, and you fought the Rathalos, you couldn't cast healing magic.
You had to drink the.
You had to drink
Monster Hunter.
You had X amount of potions to drink. And that was a pain in the ass. Now the Rathalos fight was only a 4-man, but still you could only use potions to regain health, and that sucked. I hated that. Loved it, but hated it at the same time. All right, here come the rewards now for participation and grinding. So we're gonna get the hope gear for glamours, which this I saw that you'll get one without the hood. You also get there's items too. You can see there's a bone greatsword, there's a dark knight,
Yeah.
that's a white mage. It's a minion vigor wasp. It's a minion Nessie. There's the hope jacket without the hood. Now, if they let us dye this color wise, I might be okay with it because I don't like the orange and the green combination. But if they let us dye it, if they let us dye it, I might be down because that's long coat, and I love my long coat. I can't help it.
Yeah, I'd black and gray or something would be awesome.
Something like yeah, definitely. Another minion.
It's a chunky boy.
Look at the mount.
It's the fucking revive.
The revive palette. Yeah. So basically, you got a couple of palicos pushing you around.
Like you're drunk.
Exactly. I'm totally game for this mount.
Me too. I'd be down with that.
That's what it looks like when it's flying.
They can fly.
Now, I don't know how this works. Making food, we don't do that, so I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't know what's going on here.
Is it just like an emote?
I don't think so because you don't generally summon things when you emote in 14.
Maybe you can craft it. Like maybe if you're a cook,
I don't
craft
know
that way.
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, and I already have a Palico minion too. I mean, this is going to be a new Palico minion, it looks like, or something. So I don't know. But what do you think? Having played both games, what do you think?
I think it looks fun. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm so far behind. It's going to be a while before I get to it. But
but it'll still be there when you get around to it. It'll be there. I'm excited because I don't have much to do except help you guys out and do repetitive things right now. But so this is fresh content for you tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna do this tomorrow night and probably spend hours getting my ass kicked by Arkveld because no one's gonna know how the fight mechanics work. So I'm gonna go in there with a group of randos and we're just gonna get our asses kicked for a while. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. And I'm sure this is something I'm gonna do repeatedly to get. Oh, there you are. Sorry, Sam. I had the window up. Hi. So I'll be fighting Arkveld tomorrow night in 14, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah. Well, I already beat him once in Wilds, and now that the fight looks insane. So I'm going to enjoy doing stuff to earn the Palico mount and the minions, stuff like that, and the gear. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
You know what I hope? I hope that they do the same thing with Arkveld that they did with Omega. I really do. I hope that they bring Monster Hunter mechanics into Final Fantasy 14.
They did.
Fuck Omega.
They did with Rathalos. There were Rathalos mechanics in the Rathalos fight.
Yeah.
So they will, and I don't know if they'll do it in the regular mode, but I'm sure in the Savage mode for Arkveld, it'll probably be nuts.
Yeah, I really hope that happens because I really hope you guys feel the fucking pain of having a monster that doesn't fit with the game mechanics in.
Oh man, yeah. I listen. Well, at some point, I'll catch up to you guys, and I'll get to feel the love from Omega.
Well, it won't be too long. I did some checking, and because for some reason I never thought to look at this in game, but I did some checking, and you need to be HR 41 for the regular Omega. So Devil can go right now, and you're not that far off.
I should be ready by Sunday. Then I'm 35 as of last night. I'll be 41 by in another couple days. I didn't get a chance to play today. Actually, I might play when we're done here because since
Me too.
the 14 servers are going down for maintenance, so I can't go play 14. So I'll probably play after this because I want to play a game tonight, and one's unavailable. I'll go to the other one, and I can't play Final Fantasy Tactics Evil's Chronicles till tomorrow night for stream. So that'll be that. So I'll probably tack on a couple more. Anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I want to. All right, Sam. Now you're here. I want to ask a question because I realized this. I went out this afternoon to just do a little shopping, get something done. I didn't go yesterday, so I went today, and I had a thought pop in my head, and I want to know if you feel this way too. Do you feel like constantly days you want to just look at somebody and say, "There are 4 lights"? Just want to yell in their face, "There are 4 lights." Not
that specific phrase, but I understand the feeling.
That I have that feeling, and I want to say that phrase. I want to say, "There are 4 lights." You understand? There are 4 lights. Stop it.
Maybe 1 out of 100 people looks at you and goes, "There are 4 lights."
I know. It's just. I mean, last time we did Blood Oath on Wormhole Launch, and it felt good to enjoy an episode of DS9 again.
Yeah,
because that middle of the season 2 is rough. It's just it was rough. It was rough. But next week we start Maquis parts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Cisco starts to become Cisco finally, because I was watching the episode side, and we were literally 30 minutes in, and I said, "Have we seen Ben Cisco yet?" We were like 30. We were almost 30 minutes in. I said, "We've seen Ben Cisco yet?" And it's like, no. And then literally next scene, oh look, it's a cameo from our star.
Right.
Who's here?
So that's part of his character, though. Like, I mean, you know this. Like, he starts off unsure of himself because his whole world is in disarray. He's been sent to the ass end of Federation space to basically clean up another Empire's mess, and he doesn't have any idea what he's doing. So he's winging it the whole time, and he's really unsure of himself. When the Maquis show up, he finds who he is, and who he is, as we come to discover later on, is a wartime captain.
Yeah, and there's complete truth what you're saying there from the narrative wise, and also, but like the behind the scenes stuff is that they weren't listening to Avery Brooks up to that point. They didn't want to hear what he had to say, basically saying, "I think we can do this to the character," and they're like, "No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it."
So yeah. I mean, on the one hand, I understand what you're saying. On the other hand, I understand why they weren't listening to him, because if you've ever listened to Avery Brooks speak outside of,
I know. Yeah, I know.
Anything,
I know.
The man lives in like, his whole head is filled with jazz music, right? Not thoughts, but jazz music. Like, because he is a jazz musician, but that's like how he views everything. And it's a little disjointed when it comes to translating into normal people speak. So, I get why they wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah, but just think, if they listened early enough, we would have gotten Spencer sooner. We would have gotten Hawk Cisco sooner.
Sure. And I mean, the man is a phenomenal actor. He's incredible. I mean, anything he's done from what was it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it was one where he played like the big gang boss, and like Marky Mark was running from him. What the fuck? Louis Gossett, not Louis Gossett Jr., but Lou Diamond Phillips was in it.
I think I know the movie you're talking about. I don't know the name though.
It's called The Big Something, and I can't remember what the something part was, but
Big.
But
I've seen it once, like a long time ago. I'm not even sure where.
No, that's not it.
No. But you look at that role, and he wasn't even on camera for almost the whole movie. He's really just part of it, but he is totally menacing and dominates every scene he's in. He's the bad guy, right? You look at that. You look at Sweeney in American History X, where all he's trying to do is reach these kids, right? Yeah, he's so fucking good at everything that he does. It's almost mind-boggling to me that he's able to translate any of that into fine performance, because I know for a fact that behind that man's intense expression is sheet music. So,
Well, that's just a fascinating thing when you think about it. I mean, when you understand that creative people, the mind sometimes really does work in a different way, and especially somebody when you're a performer, where you go to dig into whatever allows you to focus on the character or pull the character out from or blend yourself with the character. And
mhm.
that's just the way it is with some people. It's just their mind works that way, and that's how they do it. And that's why I am so looking forward to the good stuff. I mean, I have it here. I keep this clip on here now just because we're like 2 years, 3 years away from this moment, and poor Hitman and Fractured have no idea. But I think about this moment all the time.
But the most damning thing of all, I think I can live with it. And if I had to do it all over again, I would.
I love
Mm.
that episode so much. And I remember the first time I saw it, and I realized, wow, is this Star Trek? I mean, what's going on here? Is this Star Trek? This is so different. And then that's season 6 right there. I mean, we're way deep in there, but oh man.
Yeah, like Cisco is a really good leader, but I think what really sets him apart from a lot of the other main captains, although you could probably, if you really wanted to include New Trek, which I really would rather not, but if you really wanted to include New Trek,
no, don't want
Lorca shares a few things in common with Cisco.
I don't even know what that means.
He was the captain played by Jason Isaacs from the Mirror Universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I do know what that means then.
Yeah, you understand where I'm going with that. It's like there's a ruthlessness to him, right? That you don't get with Picard, you don't get with Kirk, right? It's just not in them. They're always trying to solve the problems diplomatically, which is part of their mandate and all that stuff. But it's like, Kirk goes like, well, I mean, I'll punch you in the face if I have to, but I'd really rather talk this out. Picard's like, let's just talk this out. Cisco's like, let's shove a trilithium warhead up his ass and call it a day. Right? Problem solved.
When I'm crunched, I'm half leaned over and I start to laugh, like I'm gonna start coughing because I'm not expecting it.
Right, but the scene that comes to mind specifically, and I can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Edwards, the guy who betrayed him and went to join the Maquis. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and launch these illegal warheads into the atmosphere of your Maquis place, and I'm gonna make it completely uninhabitable for them. And the Cardassians will have to move in because they're the only ones who can breathe that shit.
Yeah,
unless you do what I say.
And that's when he finally gets him,
right? And then Worf looks at him. He's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
And what I love about that, and I always call him Colwyn from Krull because that's the actor who played Colwyn from Krull. I love it how he thinks he's the star of his whole mission, and he keeps, if I remember correctly, he keeps calling Cisco Ahab, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Referring
to himself as Cisco's white whale.
Yeah, and he's like, and it's so fascinating. That, I mean, that's such a great moment, and he would have done it too.
Mm-hmm.
He would have done it.
Oh, absolutely.
The thing is Edwards was kind of right about that too, though.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah,
Cisco becomes it because Cisco felt both. He felt two forms of betrayal. One, the betrayal of the Federation, which he believes in it. Even though we'll see during the Dominion War, as with that famous clip, he's going to push himself to his own limits of what a Federation officer do. But the Dominion was winning, and they had to get the Romulans in the war somehow. But then right there, not a betrayal of Federation, but that was a betrayal to him, because Edwards was somebody on his staff that he had trusted. Well, we're first only going to meet him in the next episode for the first time, but he was there to be a part of it. And
well, he was being groomed to be senior staff.
Yeah, so it's something. It's a personal thing, and Cisco, as we're now going to understand, starting with this is why the end of season 2, where Ira Stephen Bear starts to take over, and what we have been talking about starts to happen, where these character connections really start to grow. Cisco he's going to start to look at these people who work around him now after these couple of years. He's starting to look at them not just as crew but as family, because he wants to treat them like that, because he's starting to learn to rely on them. And that when family betrays you, that's like the worst cut one can do.
Yeah. And he keeps everybody else at arm's length for a while after that.
Yeah.
Even Jake, to a degree.
It definitely affects his ability to trust.
Man, I love Star Trek. I love it. I love good Trek. I love real Trek. And just thinking about it, I'm just excited now, because then we've been keeping it a secret from Hitman, sort of, and Fractured, about every time, because the final episode of the season called Jem'Hadar. And we say the episode that cannot be named because we haven't mentioned it. We've been having watched it. They only teased the Dominion like twice in the season, maybe 3 times. And the word Jem'Hadar hasn't been used yet. And of course, so go ahead.
Well, they haven't run across anywhere where the Jem'Hadar were necessary, at least at the moment, to pacify the local population, right? So they're going through the wormhole and they're encountering Dominion worlds. These Dominion worlds are basically paying tribute to the founders out of abject fear, but they don't talk about why. Talk about, like, we haven't gone deep enough to places where the Jem'Hadar would be, where they're stationed at, or where they're being used to bring the world to heal. And obviously the founders, they hide themselves behind the smoke screen of the Vorta and the Jem'Hadar. So we don't even see them until much later.
No, we don't see the Vorta till season 3, when in the search, where then they're masquerading as the founders while everybody's plugged into the machine, and Odo's getting a lesson in changeling personality shit. But I mean, because right now, just a few episodes ago, it was a garbage episode, but it's relevant because they mention that it's when Dax and was it Dax and Miles, or is it Miles? I think it was Dax. It was Dax and Julian. Dax and Julian, I think. I don't know. I forgot already. Where they end up on the planet where one old dude has set up an entire holographic matrix of his old society, and it's
that was Dax and Julian, I think.
It was Dax and Julian. Yeah, it was Dax and Julian. And it's essentially the question that first gets asked, and it won't be really dealt with until Voyager. Do holographic life forms have sentience? Are they alive?
Actually, Odo was involved in that too, because
it was Odo. It was Dax and Odo. Yeah, it was Dax and Odo.
He turns into a top at the end.
At the very end.
The little girl happy, even though she's not alive.
Yeah, and point is though, during that, the old man says, "I used to live on a planet until the Dominion came, and changed things, and I couldn't live there anymore, so I left." And I recreated this in my thing. So that was the first time we heard the idea of the Dominion essentially not being. First, we thought they were economic stuff when in the Quark episode from earlier in the season. First, like, oh, they're just economic people. But now we got another reference, something else. Then we got this reference of, oh, they're
an empire.
They're something. They do control things. And we are now we're now 5 episodes away, starting this weekend, from the moment. And Brad laughed at me when I told my story of this. I think I've told you this story, so I think you're allowed to laugh at me too, because it was retarded. But this is what happened. I had been mostly checked out at the end of season 2, like many people are in the original run on television. I wasn't really watching it or paying attention, but I still watched a little bit, and then I caught, and then I sat down for I came in at the second half of Jem'Hadar, the season finale, and I had no idea that, because remember, TNG had just ended, finale, all good things, it's over, and I sit down and I see a Galaxy class starship, Galaxy starship at fighting these Jem'Hadar things, and then I watch it blow up, and I thought, what was that, the Enterprise? And for a hot minute, I thought it was, because I hadn't seen the entire episode, and I told that to Brad a few weeks ago, and he just said, "You fucking idiot."
Was that the Yamato or was it a different?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because I only ever remember 3 Galaxy class ships ever being like named, and 2 of them were Enterprise, and one of them was the Enterprise that was outfitted like a dreadnought in the Hostile universe. Not the Mirror universe, but the one where
where the sea didn't.
Yeah, because it had that extra.
Yesterday's Enterprise.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So I saw Blow Up. I'm like, what's going on? And other people who had only seen the trailer also thought that in early internet. And people thought, oh my God, the Enterprise got destroyed, because some of us who didn't watch the episode weren't clear what was going on. And so of course, then I watched the episode. I'm like, oh no, that's not it at all. And then there we are. That's the Jem'Hadar and all their. Kel says it was the Odyssey.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't remember that name at all.
Yeah, me neither. I can't always. Listen, I'm good, but I'm not perfect in my Star Trek lore memory stuff.
Yeah, if I remember right, there's an Odyssey that gets blown up in Stargate SG-1 also.
Yes, there is.
It's not safe to be on a ship named the Odyssey.
They should have named it Enterprise like Jack wanted.
Yeah, and that's a It's always funny to think about the comparison when you think about. You mentioned Odyssey. I look at the ships. Thinking about you say that, and I start thinking about ships. And one thing I always appreciate about Star Trek is I love how the ships look. The designs are great, unless it's as Kel tortured me for a little while there, showing me the Star Trek Online ships, and those are god awful.
Okay, some of them are god awful. Some of them are awesome. The Borg adapted fucking Tal Shiar ships are pretty sweet, man. They all look like flying razor sharp can openers.
I can understand that. But he showed me the Enterprise K, and I just I said no.
No, the K looks bad. I'm not even a fan of the E.
Oh, see, I love the Sovereign class. I love the Sovereign class. Yeah. I just do. It's something about it. It's maybe because it's a warship more than anything. It's not an exploratory ship. The Sovereign was created to kick ass and take names. Yeah. And Sovereign class, and I love the look of the Sovereign. There's something cool about it. Here's the thing. I think if the Sovereign had as much screen time as a Galaxy class, as the E and D, I think the E would get a little more love. She didn't have a lot of screen time.
Yeah. God damn it, man. I'm going to have to download STO again, aren't I?
Well, Kel just did it for a recent event.
I know. I just, every time I think I'm done and clear with that game, it drags me back in. Thanks a lot, Elf, for the first time, but I can't blame you this time.
Oh, funny thing. When Kel was playing it a few weeks ago, we were in Discord, and he shares a screen. He got a glitch where one of his characters was just floating in space in place of the ship. I found that funny. Oh man. But yeah, here's the thing. The D is iconic. It's iconic. 7 seasons, 1 movie. And when they brought her back at the end of Picard season 3, it felt so good though, because they did such justice to the Enterprise D at the end of Picard season 3. And I have to say this. I mean, I know it's only because there's a difference in the special effects technology between then and now. But I did enjoy at the end of Picard season 3 watching the D be dynamic instead of just sitting there and trading blows or slowly melodiously. No, is that the right word? I don't know.
I don't think that's the right word. No.
Plotting. I'll just say plottingly.
Meticulously?
But no, plottingly, just moving about, where it doesn't look like, with the exception of like in Best of Both, All Good Things, where the triple nacelle version of the D zooms up and takes out the Klingon ships. The D just rarely is a dynamic ship. It's always just kind of sitting there. And that was the technology of the time. It was technology at the time. It's not until right now, as we get deeper into Deep Space Nine, where there was a shift in special effects technology for the ship CGI, where the ships became dynamic, like in the movies.
Mm.
And now they're going to kick into high gear. It's going to be really, it's because DS9 has some of the best Star Trek space battles, if not the best space battles, with what's going to go on.
Which, for the record, is the absolute best part of STO. The space battles are fucking awesome. The away team shit is terrible.
Yeah, I asked Kel to explain that to me one time, exactly how it works. And he basically said, yeah, you can do away teams, but nobody does them.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get through like the story missions and all that and unlock all the stuff, you kind of need to. But if you just want to like fly around and explore and shit, you don't actually have to go to any planet's surface. And you can't do it with every planet anyway. You know, because they used to have this thing, these first contact missions, right? But they scrapped those a long time ago, long before it ever came to like console ports and all that stuff. So used to be able to set down on new worlds, unexplored worlds, and initiate first contact and do those kinds of missions. But you can't do anything like that anymore. So most of those worlds you can orbit. That's about it.
That sounds actually cool.
Yeah.
So to do first contact.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. I got into the game after they had already scrapped that whole thing, though.
Oh, so you never actually did it.
That entire system. And I never got to experience it, which is unfortunate because I hear it was a lot of fun.
That sounds so that I mean, we all the time we talk about all these games that we play or want to play. We're like, let's have interesting new mechanics. And the idea of if you're the first one to that world performing first contact, that sounds fascinating to me.
Would it be like a mini game? Like you have to, you have to, I don't know, be clever of how you approach them so that it doesn't end up as a hostile situation or something.
Part of the problem with it was because you have like, you know, hundreds of fucking players on these.
Exactly. That's where the problem I can see starts coming in.
So it would have to be like like part of the solo part of the game, in which case, like, you know, you could.
But then what's the point?
I think ideally, like randomly generated alien races would be great, but I just don't see how that gets implemented in an MMO engine.
Not especially not in a game like, I mean, even though there's still a lot of the galaxy to explore from the Federation's perspective, there's still a limited amount.
Right.
There's a limited amount of space. So
you have these sort of NPC missions, like you collect crew members and you collect ships and stuff, and you can send them out to do other stuff. And when they go out and do these missions, they're under, you know, diplomacy or defense or science or humanitarian rescue, or whatever the type of mission is, and you get points in each of those categories. And the further up in the levels of those categories you go, the more perks you unlock and that kind of thing. And with diplomacy, like you had to be like, I think level 3 diplomat in order to initiate first contact missions. And I worked so hard to get there. It's so fucking hard to get there. And I come to find out that you can't do them anymore. And I was super pissed because I was really looking forward to that. And the guy who gives you the first contact missions at Starfleet Command is still there.
I was just saying,
doesn't
NPC's
do anything.
still there. He's just back
Sitting
around
on his ass.
Oh man. And you see, this is what I heard somebody ask a question to somebody earlier today, because there's this whole thing right now. I believe Elon put out a video today talking about X Games is going to put out a AI generated game in the next year and a half. And it's like, what game would you make? And I go back to like these conversations we've had in the past. I would make one of two types of games. Of course, it's an RPG. I mean, I'm going to make a fantasy RPG. And if I'm making a solo game, we'll go with there first. I'm making a solo game. I'd make a real RPG that's represented in anime, which we never have. Because if you watch any sort of fantasy anime for the past several years, really, because it's become more and more apparent, your adventurers always end up at a guild, an adventurers guild, where they get quests like that. But when you think about it, that doesn't actually exist in a game or MMO. there's no real adventurer's hub. It's not there. So I would love a sort of generated world where it'll keep creating quests at an adventurers guild, and you can literally build your story from that, not really following save the kingdom to that. But you build your story as an adventurer doing tasks from the guild, going out on adventures, exploring, going into dungeons, stuff like that. Some sort of generated game like that is the type of game I build, where the game literally is the hub is the adventurers guild, and you start there and you explore the world you live in from that point. And of course, you advance, there are other hubs and other cities of that. That's the starting point for my thought on a
Sort
game.
of like to use a really bad example, sort of like the dungeon generation in the Diablo franchise, but applied to like the whole quest.
I guess so. I mean, I never really played the Diablo stuff, so I can't really. I
Yeah,
don't really
they
know.
is going all the way back to the first one is random dungeon generation. So like
Oh,
different
okay,
monsters,
yeah.
different
Oh,
things
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, you have. I mean, here's the thing: you would have like set. There was the whole world isn't randomly generated,
Mhm.
but adventures get randomly generated, and therefore also since as you mentioned, it goes back at least 20 years, and they do these concurrent games too, where dungeons are procedurally generated. You go in there and it builds something new every time you go in there. So there's no reason why you can't have the game have an overall map that is static, but then instances that are generated or moments that are generated. I feel like that's something that's missing for it, and the story just builds around. I mean, I don't know if it's possible. I'm no developer or anything like that, but that's what comes to mind would be exciting for me to play, at least in solo gaming like
Have
that.
you have you ever heard of a game called Elite Dangerous?
Yes.
Okay, so Elite Dangerous purports to have the entire known Milky Way galaxy mapped in it, and you can go everywhere. And obviously, there's some shit that they don't know. They
Mhm.
filled in the gaps with and all that stuff. But the map is so big that I think the estimate and how long it would take you to explore every single inch of it is something in the neighborhood of 3,400 years
Hmm.
in real world time. Right, you'll never see all of it. And
Interesting.
so like every person who plays it has a different experience depending on where they choose to go and what they choose to do. You all start in the same place, but you branch out from there into essentially a scale model of the actual galaxy.
You see, that's what they promised No Man's Sky was going to be originally,
Mhm.
even though the game has since fixed itself, they've done a lot. That's what it said it was going to be originally, and when it didn't deliver, I got so angry.
Yeah.
Or that
Well,
kind of thing.
there's no like first person out of the cockpit stuff. It's all
Oh, it's on the
all
ship.
ship based,
Oh,
and all that.
okay.
And it depends on like what ships you get, what contracts you take, et cetera, at all, which factions you align with and that kind of thing. I mean, you could spend your entire time in game just being a little merchant who's shuttling between three systems if you want,
I've
you
heard
know,
about that. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, yeah.
or you could go to war with the galaxy.
I'm a pirate. I
You
want to be a
know,
pirate.
you can do that too. You
Uh,
know, it's
but
and I will say this: it is a beautiful game.
mhm.
It's gorgeous. Very, very pretty. They have all kinds of cool shit to see in there.
How old is it?
I mean, it's at least 6 years old. I think it's older than that, but I've only known about it for about 4 years, and I started playing it a couple of years ago because one of my co-mutual subscribers on YouTube, I follow his channel too because we're all connected through my friend Amira. Recommended it to me when I was playing God of War Ragnarok a
Mm.
couple years ago on stream, and he's like, "Hey, you should check out Elite Dangerous." And so I was like, "All right, I'll download it and check it out and see what it's about." And um, like you remember the old school mech simulators like Mech Warrior 2 and how if you had like the right headphones and shit, it sounded like you were in this machine, right?
No, I never played it like that. I never played much of it, and I never heard that. That's
Oh,
wild.
you should. It's very, very immersive if you get the right sound setup. Anyway, this is the same way. The same way. It's completely immersive.
Hmm.
Very cool game.
Mm. But see, I want something like that on a fantasy scale.
Yeah, that would
I
be
because I love science fiction. You know, I love science fiction. but my heart is always at fantasy, and I want that experience for a fantasy game. So I mean that's where if I had to choose one thing, and I would choose solo first. I mean I love co-op
Mhm.
stuff, but I feel like it'd be easier to build a solo game than a co-op game. I would make a game like that in a fantasy setting where you are at the Adventurers Guild, and that's your hub for everything, and the story builds out from how you take on these adventures, and
Right.
you build your legend and of course, then add into this too, randomly generated NPCs who become your companions. Never the same adventure twice. The game would just create. I mean, I think that's doable with today's gaming engines, don't you?
STO kind of has a system like that with the NPCs. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's doable. So
yeah,
it's doable. It's like these characters who are alive of personalities and traits, just compiled from just a data storage of different things for character creation.
yeah,
And it's like find this. It's like here's this priest you encountered. Oh, all right, you hit it off. They're going to join your party. Here's a thief. Here's a this or that, and maybe create rivalries with other parties and stuff like that as they're generated. That's what I would want for a solo game experience, and I'm kind of with Elite Dangerous saying an endless experience. The game just keeps going. There's no
Mhm.
end. You just keep adventuring, and I mean maybe the game itself can create an event. Here comes the Demon Lord. The Demon Lord's army is coming and create an event.
yeah,
But I mean, that's what I want for a solo experience. I mean,
yeah. That sounds kind of cool. It's like I mentioned with STO. I know I keep bringing that shit up. I'm
that's
fucking
fine.
currently. By the way, Alf, if you're out there, you've cursed me. I am currently downloading it again. I hate myself for it. It's
I
like
just
crack because I hate
well,
myself for it, and I can't stop playing the damn thing.
blame Kel right now. Blame Kel. He's the
I am
only
gonna.
reason I
You know
brought it
what,
up.
Kel? That's absolutely correct. Alf,
Yeah.
you're off the hook. Kel,
It's
damn
Kel's.
you.
It's Kel's fault. There's like Kel's the only reason I brought it up because he was showing me.
Kel!
He was showing me shit a few weeks ago while he was logging in purely to complete
Oh,
an
man.
event. He just logged in every day before we started playing 14 just to complete an event so he could get a ship. And
Yeah.
that's all he was doing. And blame Kel. It's Kel's fault.
It is. I'm gonna blame him. Anyway, the like when you start out with your new character, when you start out with your new character, right? Your character itself, like you can choose obviously from the list of available races depending on your faction, et cetera, at all. But there is another option, particularly with the Federation, where you can basically just build your own alien species, which is kind of cool. But when you begin your adventure, you have certain NPCs who are part of the tutorial storyline, and they become your first crew members. And there, you don't get an option about who they are. The more crew members you accrue, however, when you get them, you get these tokens that says like, say, Ferengi officer, right? It doesn't tell you, like they all start out at the rank of ensign. Like you have to promote them as you go along. But all you know is that character is going to be a Ferengi, and it's going to be an officer in your faction. Everything else, from their body type to their their sex to their name to their stats to their which role they fulfill or all that stuff, all of that is completely randomly generated. So like you don't know who you're going to get.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I mentioned that because I have a pot-bellied Ferengi officer.
Pot-bellied?
Yeah, he's fat.
He just came that way?
Yeah, he came that way. I had nothing to do with that.
How do you get through the academy and be fat?
I don't know. He's an engineer, man. It's fine.
He's gonna get stuck in the Jeffries tube.
It's fine. I also have a Borg officer, not a former Borg, a Borg.
How is that possible?
It just is. Don't question.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
But like different races are, for instance, if you start out as Klingon, right, you have the options to add in. I think later on you can use DLC or whatever to get access to like the Fekri, which are like the cat people, the evil cat people. You start out with obviously you can have Klingons, obviously, because you're with the Empire.
Yeah.
But also subservient races, because it is an empire, like the Gorn and the Orions, et cetera, and all. And with the Romulans, it's a little shorter of a list, right? It's pretty much just Romulans and Remans. And I think the Remans are DLC and all that stuff, but in the story, it takes place after the destruction of Romulus and
I
Nutra.
hate that. I
Right.
hate that. I know
Right.
that didn't happen.
As a result of that, there are now 2 Romulan factions, but you can only play as one because the other one's an antagonist for everybody. That would be the what's left of the Empire as run by the remnants of the Tal Shiar. Specifically, Tasha Yar's kid is running shit. She is now the self-proclaimed Empress of the Romulan Star Empire.
Oh.
And she's kind of a cunt.
Well, yeah, she is.
And then the other one is the new Romulus, who were the faction who split off from the Tal Shiar because they obviously, the Romulan Empire didn't fucking work, so they want to try something else. So you're with those guys, even though you're with those guys, though, I got my Romulan characters decked out in like fucking TNG Romulan gear because it just looks better to me.
Oh man, Devil, what game would you make?
If I could make a game, I would like to do an RPG. I think that would be really fun. You get the most out of the stories, the deepest stories. Yeah, I'd have to do that, or a fighting game, just because it would be really cool to make so many characters, and then you could flesh out each one of their stories. I think that would be fun too to create, because that would be the selling point for me, is just the being able to create the stories and the designs. It would be like what I do with memes, just on a much larger scale.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. I mean, the character customization and the whole interlacing. That's one of the reasons. I mean, you say that, my mind goes right to Soul Calibur, and I bet Sam's mind went there too. And in terms of, to me, because I compare, when I think of fighting games, Soul Calibur always jumps first, because I know Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat are more famous. And
Soul Calibur's top tier in terms of mechanics, story.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take Soul Calibur over all those other franchises.
Soul Calibur 3 specifically, greatest fucking fighting game ever made, in my opinion.
I can't disagree. It was excellent. I played the hell out of that one. I unlocked every character. I did every storyline. And that was weird for me, because normally I just pick a couple characters in a fighting game and I just stick to them. But I wanted to unlock everything.
It also had a hell of a character generation system. And it was the only one to ever use this sort of RPG campaign.
Yes.
Created characters that was so awesome, and they never used it again.
I played the hell out of it, because you went on a map, you moved them, you had a party, and you could teach you could. I created a whole stable of characters for that.
You create a character, and then you create that character's story through this RPG.
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic, and I chose the weapon style, of course. They did have a dual-wielding katana. It wasn't unlockable, so I had to use for one character, I had to use I just forgot what was the pirate's name? Shit, I just forgot it.
Cervantes,
yeah. For a while, until I got that unlocked, I had to use his fighting style for a dual wield on my character. Then I did unlock the katanas, and I used those. But
yeah, you could do that, or I always went with Taki, because she was fast as fuck.
But I wanted to dual wielding combat. Oh, I loved Cervantes I loved playing with Cervantes. I remember when I first played Soul Calibur 1. Or no, yeah, 1.
The original was called Soul Edge.
Well, that's Soul Edge on the PS1. Then Soul Calibur on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And when I was in college, we created an event called Bad Ogre, big ass day of gaming, and I always forget what the rest of the acronym meant. But we had a whole bunch of shit going on. We rented out a space on campus. What
was it? Big ass day of gaming, retard enclave.
I don't remember. I don't. Oh, I remember big ass day of gaming, and I don't remember what the RE stood for. I really don't. It's been 20 plus years. I don't remember anymore. If I ever knew. If somebody else came up with the acronym, not me. But for our gaming club that we created on campus and ran. We did it once a year or twice. We did twice a year, once a semester. And one of the times we set up multiple TVs with multiple consoles of the era. And once somebody had a Dreamcast. And I had already played Soul Edge because I had a friend who had it and he let me borrow it. And I played the hell out of it in my private time. So I was familiar with it, but then I didn't know that there was Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. So somebody brought it in, and basically we set up people on their own, set up a King of the Hill tournament playing Soul Calibur 1.
Sure.
And when I was finished playing some tabletop and some Warhammer and a couple other things, I made my way over there and I was watching. I'm like, okay, I'm getting in line. I know these characters. I'm getting in line. And I got in there and I'd never played a second of it. Not at all. And I just chose, I'm like, oh shit, I can play as Cervantes. Holy shit. I'm gonna play as Cervantes. And dude, I went on just the natural way the game lets you learn how to play the characters with the combat. I went on a mini win streak the first time, then I got dethroned, but then I came back after having played it comfortable the first time. Oh man, I held that title seat for like 20 minutes or something like that. That's Cervantes. Like, yeah, I'm in the flow. This game is very easy controls to understand. I'm figuring out the moves pretty quickly. It was glorious. And that's when I fell in love with it. And then, of course, when they came out with Soul Calibur 2 in my private time, I bought that instantly. And then 3, 4, I stopped at 4 or 5. I don't remember anymore. I don't remember which one I stopped at, but kept buying.
I played all the way up through 6. One of the things I always liked about that series was that because it was made by Namco, who correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure they're the same ones who make Tekken.
Well, I mean, Heihachi was a guest character.
Yeah, but so was Spawn. So I mean,
but that was
Star Killer.
Yeah, well, that was because that was when they were like different consoles. The release when they started that.
Yeah, and Link.
And I had Heihachi on the PlayStation, and I hated it because I wanted somebody else.
Yeah,
Heihachi.
So, but what was kind of interesting to me about that was that the control system for that series has always been remarkably simple,
fluid,
right?
Almost.
But the more you understand, the more complex your moves can get.
Yes,
right. And it's right. Tekken did the same shit like that all the way up through Tekken 3. I kind of stopped playing the series after Tekken 3, but Tekken 3 was like peak fighting game too. And you could do some incredible shit, but you had to actually learn it. You couldn't button mash to get there, right? But the basics of it were enough to get through most things. And it was really kind of intuitive after a few rounds. And Soul Calibur did that. They kind of mastered that system in their early games. The only complaint that I had about the Soul Calibur games versus the Soul Edge games, right? Because they were obviously better in almost every way. They took out the mechanic where you could break your opponent's weapon.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Me too.
Because, Sofatia still has a goddamn sword breaker sword, but it doesn't do its job. And I miss that because having had my weapon broken and having broken other people's weapons, it reduces you down to this like rock'em sock'em robot 1-2 punch, and it's horrendous. You know you're gonna lose, but you can't let him just have it.
You got to go for the throws, getting close, trying to grapple a little bit.
I do miss that mechanic, and I miss the there used to be this thing you could do in the Soul Edge games that sort of applied to specific weapons, but you couldn't really like mess around with them too much. But there was certain status effects that were applied to certain weapons too. So you could do like poison damage and all kinds of fun stuff.
Those games were I loved those games. It's just a shame that after as of Soul Calibur 2, I never played with anybody else. Was just me. I played the story, and of course, with Soul Calibur 3, I played the hell out of the RPG section of it. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
But after that, I just played myself, and I think by the time I think the last one I had was 5 was a PlayStation 3 game, right? Was that a PlayStation 3 game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 5 was the last one I played. I remember getting it. I played it for a little bit, and then I think that was the point where I was playing a lot of MMOs at that point. And I realized, man, I'm tired of just playing this game by myself.
We kind of thought 5 was going to be the last one, and there was a significant gap of time between when that came out and when 6 did.
I don't
Was
even
it?
remember 6. I don't
Yeah.
even remember it at all.
6
Was
was on
6
PS4.
6 was the one with no 5 was the one with where you could play as Yoda, right? Or was that 6?
That was 4.
Well, that was 5. That's
It was
5.
5?
because-
It was 5?
Yeah,
5 was the
because
Yoda
in
one.
So I
6
had so I had Vader. I had
Yeah.
Vader on the PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation.
you could actually unlock Vader, Yoda, and Starkiller for 5 as guest characters. The 6 they brought in Geralt from The Witcher.
Yeah, I never played 6. Yeah, I never had 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
which
didn't play it either. I wish I
Sorry.
did.
I remember for 3 you had Heihachi on the PlayStation, you had Link on the Nintendo.
and Spawn on the Xbox.
Yeah, and I was so disappointed. Like, man, Heihachi's a dick. I don't want to be Heihachi.
Yeah,
And then
Heihachi's a dick and nowhere as good as Spawn would have been. That
No.
was
Yeah.
the shit.
And also, Spawn's an anti-hero. Link is a hero. Heihachi's the fucking villain of the Tekken series. He's not a good
Yeah.
dude. Like
No.
he's straight up evil.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not. But when I say dick, it's like it's dick that I got him because I'm not excited to play as Heihachi.
Right.
'Cause I'm
I was
not into
hoping for
Tekken.
Jin Kazama, but
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
And
It
then,
would have
of
made more
course,
sense in power levels too. by the way.
true. But then, of course, you get 5, and you get the Star Wars collaboration. Like, oh shit, I'm Darth fucking Vader. Okay, I'm
Dude.
digging this.
Dude, Yoda was like fucking playing against Gon again because he was so goddamn short.
I want to make the odd job joke, just like you little
Yeah.
short little motherfucker, little
Oh.
bastard.
Yeah.
Oh man, I see that 5 was definitely the last one because I don't think I ever had 6 or did I? I just
don't
have this
think I had
memory of a used copy of a Soul Calibur game in my hand, and I don't remember which one it was. I might have actually had 6, and I think I maybe played it for half a second, so little that I don't remember it.
My kids bought me 6. So
Okay,
and all that. And that's
All right.
that's what, like the big difference between my experience and your experience. I've always had people to play it with. Like, I mean,
okay,
it
yeah,
was-
there's a thing. Yeah.
you know, at one point we had 3 generations of people sitting in a room playing round robin.
All right, Soul Calibur 6. Leave me stop. What is this? Turn on. What the hell? No. Don't. What does Google ask me for? Okay, sorry. So they just asked me to turn on something new. I'm like, what the fuck? Soul Calibur 6 released 2018. Yeah, I didn't play this one. Yeah, I never had this one. I don't recognize.
I played that with my brother, my sister-in-law, their kids, my kids, all in the same room, just, you know, passing controllers. Whoever won got to stay on. Whoever lost had to pass controller.
King of the Hill.
Yeah.
King of
And
the Rules.
I will proudly state this for the whole world to hear. And, you know, if you're out there, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say your name. I won't out there, but you know who I'm talking about. My sister-in-law has never been able to beat my Lizard Man ever in any iteration of that game.
Really, it's
Yeah.
I mean, Lizard Man is essentially the same base as Sophatia because of the lore.
Right, but he can crawl and he has all kinds of other fun mechanics like that.
Yeah.
And that always freaked her out when he got down on all fours and like started moving.
Really, I would see. I for a while, when I did play Guns with People with Soul Calibur 1, I did some Voldo action.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Oh,
people-
Voldo was fun too. Yeah.
That just dude.
But not actually, if I remember right, actually, Lizard Man in Soul Calibur 5 was actually his own character. He had his own moveset. He wasn't strictly Sophatia based anymore. And then they kind of took him out of the game in Soul Calibur 6, and I was really disappointed about that. Like you could make a Lizard Man, but it was like character creation shit, and it was basically you get whatever, you know, weapon style you choose, but it's not really Lizard Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, so that's I one of the things that was coolest to me when I loved in Soul Calibur, and actually Soul Calibur inspired me for some creativity stuff that I definitely drew upon, was the whole once Siegfried got separated from Nightmare and they were 2 characters again. And in Soul Calibur 3, when you fight Nightmare, but then Nightmare turns into that super form,
Mhm.
that blew me away when that first happened. Like, oh shit, that thing's crazy. and I got to fight it. And that inspired me for something that I've used, and I've used it. Problem is, I have to readapt it because I actually used Soul Edge as the weapon in what I did. So now I have to come up with I have to lay the groundwork for my own version of that, so I can recreate the essence that I used for that particular character and that particular storyline that I did, because I haven't figured that out yet. That's one of those things for my writing that was one of those long-term riddles, puzzles in my brain. I haven't worked that part out yet, but I got time. That part's a long way away, but I have to plant the seeds early on. So I have time, yet I don't have time at some point. So I have to figure that out. But I love the idea of Soul Edge, and I love the idea of Soul Calibur, and I have to figure out a way to recreate it without copying it. I could do it. I just haven't figured it out.
The idea of two opposing forces distilled down into weapon forms is not necessarily original. But the way that Soul Calibur handles it, where you essentially track the movements of these two weapons and where they clash and where they separate, where they get lost to time, where they're rediscovered throughout like hundreds of years in history. Right? I mean, it was the world that was built around them that was novel, not so much the concept itself of the two opposing weapons, which I thought was cool.
But also the weapons morph; they change. It's whoever wields them and change. And I love the classic look of Soul Edge, where it's just the giant broadsword, single edge broadsword. It's the blinking eye that I love the most, though.
That's and you can thank Siegfried for that when he got corrupted.
Yeah,
and turned into Nightmare.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So I need to do something sort of like, good night, Legatus, man.
Dude.
I have to figure that out without blatantly copying it.
Right.
So it has to be that. So anyway, all right, we're at the hour. There it is. We're pretty much done. So it works, guys. We just start talking.
Yeah.
And we get there, and it's a short show. We don't go for long. It's just a nice little chill end of the day cap, because now we want to go play Monster Hunter, because Devil and I can't go play Final Fantasy 14, so we're gonna play Monster Hunter. All right, Devil, what you got going on this week?
This week we got Make Me a Sandwich here on Wednesday, and the pub on Friday going into Saturday.
All right, Sam.
Game streams coming up tonight. Probably will be doing Monster Hunter. I don't know if I'll be streaming it or not. I'm going to talk to the guys, see how they feel about it. If not, then we'll be back tomorrow night with Blood Omen. I will be getting back into that for sure tomorrow night. And then it's Vevictus, but yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I get that wrong every time, but that's what it sounded like when I was listening to a dude played in college.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, but we will definitely be getting back into that. We're real close to finding Mobius for the first time, so that'll be fun. Getting through that goddamn dungeon has been a pain in the dick, but it's fine. It's fine. You know, house is burning down around me. I'm just gonna have my cup of tea here. It's fine. And then we got Abyssal Musings on Friday. I'll be on Devil's show or Devil's channel for Beelzebub right after that, and we'll be getting back into Screaming into the Void this weekend. If Amira goes live at some point in the middle of the week, I'll be over there. If she doesn't do it until Saturday, I'll be over there. If she doesn't do it at all, I won't be over there. So otherwise, yeah, that's it. That's everything that's coming up. So yeah.
All right. As for me, I'm probably gonna get up, move around, and then I'm probably gonna log into Monster Hunter Wilds because I want to play a game, and 14 servers are going down real soon. So it's kind of pointless for me to get started there. I feel bad too because I didn't finish my tombstones for the week, so I'm once again gimped myself because I was lazy all week last week. Point is, so I'll probably play a little Wilds, just chill out. Then tomorrow night, solo gaming stream, Final Fantasy Tactics, Evilise Chronicles. We're going to start that up. And then rest of the week is the rest of the week. We'll see what happens. And for those who are unaware, we got Saturday Night Driving this week. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Jed and I are going to talk that. Jed's never seen it. Another one of those.
Jeez.
So Jed's going to have a lot to say about this one, I feel. But it's a good movie.
Hey, we talked about that last night in private. I say it's a good movie with some flaws. Specifically, Keanu's accent is the first
I,
flaw.
I hate to quote Cinema Sins because that guy's kind of an asshole, but he's right. No movie is without sin, right? So I mean,
Yeah. Listen, I only have 2 movies that are a 10 out of 10 in my entire experience, and we already did one of them on Drive-In, Lion in Winter. That is just a perfect movie to me. And the other one I can't say because we haven't done it yet. I don't want to spoil my score. But there's only one other one. Anyway, but so yeah, that's it. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys in another 2 weeks. We're going to keep this on an every other week schedule. We'll be back with another stream of Conscious in a couple of weeks. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and have a good rest of your night. Bye, everybody.
Night.